between Palestinians and the Trump administration. Earlier this year, the U.S. government recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Dominic Velitis has more from London.
Well, this will undoubtedly hurt the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, or UNRWA for short. For decades, the US has been the organization's largest single donor. Now, back in January, Washington announced it would be withholding a large chunk of its funding while declaring it was no longer willing to shoulder the burden of the organization's running costs. And then, following a review, the US described the organization as irredeemably flawed before announcing that it would in fact be pulling all funding to UNRWA. A key issue for the US, and indeed for Israel, it seems, is the way UNRWA counts the number of Palestinian refugees, specifically how it includes the descendants of Palestinians originally displaced by the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. And that has implications for lots of Palestinians who believe they have a right to return to their ancestral homes. Now, in a statement, UNRWA, which provides for more than 5 million people in the Middle East, expressed deep regret and disappointment at the US decision to cut funding. Here's a little more, though, from UNRWA's chief spokesperson, Chris Gunnis.
International law must be respected, UN resolutions must be respected, and of course, if there is to be a resolution of the refugee crisis, then the refugees themselves must be consulted, and they have rights. You cannot simply airbrush out of history and out of the equation 5.4 million people.
Now, we've also heard from the Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas. He described the US's decision to cut funding to UNRWA as an assault against his people, adding the move was in defiance of UN resolutions, a similar line to the one you just heard from Chris Gunnis there. And while supporters of America's decision to cut UNRWA's funding have described it as a win for US taxpayers and peace, others are warning